Yep.
Yeah, all right.
So, hello everyone. We're the Fantastic Five, and our solution is a energy monitoring system for small SMEs. Next slide, please.
So to develop our solution, we firstly connected the device to be monitored to a power sensor, this one, and then the power sensor to a Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is connected to the internet and transmits live data 24/7 to an online database. And then the computer, which does the monitoring, downloads that data and produces all these comprehensive figures like pie charts and plots to visualize the data.
We have also written code which can automatically send emails to the user or the chief engineer in case of catastrophic failure, or if the current and voltage exceed the rated values, or in the case when certain devices can be turned off in order to save power.
Next slide, please. So, in order to be feasible with businesses, we've decided to make our product as simple and cheap as possible. So all of the softwares that we use are open source, such as Python and Dash and InfluxDB. As well as that, we've got a very cheap Raspberry Pi setup, and all we need to do is connect it to the internet, and it will automatically work, meaning even users without great technical expertise can use it.
Our solution is based on the plotty influx and the dash. At first, people get the specific configuration for the energy threshold for each robot. Then the associated visualization is provided. Finally, if a threshold is met in a specific energy domain, the alert email will be sent.
Next slide, please.
In terms of using it in a company's framework, it is a cheap solution, cost-effective. Namely, by mitigating the unwanted power usage, the user can turn off the unwanted consumers and has a track of what consumers use the most energy. Also, it allows an eco-friendly power usage. We can see where most power is lost on by comparing sensors or stations between them.
Yes, so and just to reiterate, it's like you can get sort of alerts via email or text when sort of their deviance is from expected. Perhaps you wanted a machine to be off and you've entered that it's going to be off in that time and you left it on instead. You'll get an alert in that scenario. And you'll also get an alert if the current is excessively high at a certain time period. And you can also, that's basically the alert system. And you can also just get constantly updating data on sort of graphs on a dashboard that we used Python Dash to create. And sort of looking to the future, if you were to use this implementation, you could potentially collate the data of a number of SMEs in the local area to get an average. And then every SME could sort of compare to that constantly changing average in order to sort of give you a more accurate representation sort of geographically on how different SMEs are consuming power. If we do have time, we do have a video.
Time is out, guys.
If not, that's okay too.
Have you got a video at the end?
Yeah,
we have a video.
Yeah,
it's a video on the team channel in the
just sort of
home
show
menu.
how the dashboard looks.
Do you, Duncan, are you okay with if I?
Just give us a 15-second viewing of it.
Yeah, it's very short, right?
Yeah. It's in the general.
The excellent thing.
Fantastic, right?
Yeah. He said excellent 5 in the thing.
Oh.
In the chat?
In the general chat.
Yeah, that
that's one.
YouTube link.
Oh.
Yeah, YouTube link.
Oh no.
Can you copy it and place it?
Yeah, if you can copy the link and then paste it.
Ivana, can't you upgrade your browsers?
That's fine.
Copy to the app.
While this video is loading, do the judges have any questions?
Questions from the judges. Looking. Yazan?
Yeah, I'm really interested about the alerts. When you said about you can give an alert about how to save power, are you looking at power per machine, like per day, for example, or like per job, per operation? Like what kind of matrix are you actually like?
So with a lot of the machines now, they can run quite automatically. So you know, you could always there could be businesses that could just leave their machines on, or have lots of people, or have a few people monitoring lots of machines. So in that case, even if you have autonomous machines, they'll quickly send you an alert if something is wrong. And in terms of cost savings, you know, with these autonomous machines, you can run them during the night when electricity could be as much as like 30% cheaper. And if we do this for the whole year, then that can be quite significant cost savings. So by allowing us to measure how much electricity is being consumed, we can see how much of that we can move to low rate times during the night and how much money we can save.
Okay, so we're seeing the video now. Oh.
That's what the dashboard would look like.
Okay.
One of the key strengths is that we have a large range of visualization tools. You name it, we have it.
All right. Okay, I think that's probably enough. Thank you. Just we've got the idea. Okay.
Yeah, I would just say if it's great that you can see that equipment's perhaps left on. Do you see you being able to develop this to actually remotely turn those machines off?
Not at the current moment, but like if we were to develop this further, then yes, we can definitely implement that. So just a simple click and you can turn a machine on and off.
That would be next stage in development, to turn it on and off via your mobile phone.
Sort of thing quite often where you might have a set of compressors that are running. When you don't need compressors running, you could perhaps turn one of them off because during a slack period, they could run with one compressor rather than two. So yeah, that would be a good feature.
Yeah, so in our current solution, we do have option to select, you know, what times the machine should be on. So if, for example, you accidentally forgot and left the compression on, you'd get a text message as soon as you left the door. So you'd go back in and able to turn those machines off.
Yeah. If you would connect the Raspberry Pi to some switches that link to the machines, then we would turn them off from some Raspberry Pi commands. That would be achievable.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Right, so that was the last presentation.